Toxic friendships. We don't get to see people talking about this much. We see people talking about toxic relationship much. And toxic friendship, I think they are worse than toxic relationships, because toxic friendships, you can only come out of them, you most people come out of them when it is too late, because you don't realize or you don't see the toxicity in it until you're out. Because like it is a toxic friendship, most of these friends are the one like pointing out the toxicness in other people, so you never like notice there's toxicity until it is too late. So I had these two friends that used to make me feel insecure about myself, because I think they used to feel like I was a threat to them when it came to the male gaze. And I'm the kind of person that I don't go for any man that approaches me. I never used to do that. And I used to look for personality. I used to look for a person that matches my quality. Like I had qualities, I didn't just go for a guy just because the guy came after me. Like you had to meet my criteria before like I chose you. So like I think they used to be jealous of that, because like I had uh standards, and they used to like take digs at me, because like they wanted me to be like them. I didn't like criticize their choices, because at some point they used to choose men that are not um quite literally, they don't have any qualities to be chosen. They just chose the men, you know the men didn't have any qualities that they used to talk about when we talk like girls. So I want this man, I want a man with ABCD, but the man that they are choosing has nothing of those qualities, and you're like, wait, you told me that you want a man. So when I used to point that out to them, like, wait, but you told me that you want a man like this, and they were like, oh, sometimes you just have to test the waters and test it. And I'm like, okay, okay, girl, do you, but just remember that this guy that you're dating right now doesn't have the qualities that you mentioned. And then when the breakup will come, they'll be like, yeah, you mentioned it. And then they'll be salty about it. I think it's because I mentioned it. I don't know. But now, because I think they thought that I saw myself as better than them, which is not true. Actually, I used to put them up there. I used to love to uplift those girls. I used to tell them like when I hear they had like insecurities about their breast size, and I don't like it when a girl is like, oh, I wish like I had a bigger breast size. I'm like, girl, do you know like most girls who have bigger breast size, they wish that they had smaller breast size. Most of them, not all of them. Like most of them, they're like, oh, I wish I had smaller boobs, because like bigger boobs comes with problems, like back problems. They come with a lot of problems, but people with smaller boobs are like, no, I wish I had those big boobs and have those problems. I think it's also because like most men choose girls with bigger boobs, because when you're flat chested, they tend to um what do you call it, they tend to mock you, tell you, oh, you look like a boy, insult you in some way. And I think that came from like the fact that a lot of men had insulted them. And now they started insulting me, because I don't have big boobs, but I don't have small boobs. I'm in the middle area. And they started pointing out the fact that my boobs are bigger than theirs, and they didn't mention it like in the kindest way, like in the cute way or uplifting me. They're telling me like, oh, I wish I had boobs like yours. No, just to be like, you have bigger boobs, don't wear my top, you're going to stretch it. And I'm like, it's okay, I'm not going to borrow your top. If you don't want me to borrow your top, just say that you don't want me to borrow it. You don't have to be um mad about it. And they want to wear my things, and I feel left out, because you want to borrow my things but you don't want me to borrow yours, because like you have bigger sizes. Yes, in as girls we don't always wear tight tops, so sometimes I can't choose something that is her size that I know that I will ruin, obviously I use common sense and I will choose something that, you know, it is flattering, but it won't be ruined when I wear it, you know. But they were like, no, I can't give you my tops. You're going to ruin them. And I'm like, okay, but don't borrow my clothes too, because if you say that I'm going to ruin your clothes, which I'm not going to do, because like I don't have like humongous boobies. My boobies, like my boobies are bigger than theirs. Like in my boobs were like you add a half to their boobs. In short, like they were not like mad bigger than theirs. Anyway, another thing they pointed out that I was like, I didn't notice then. I noticed after I came out of that friendship was the fact that I had a bigger waist. They were waist 22 and I was waist 26. And they were like, you have a bigger waist. And I'm like, okay, we're not made from the same mother, you know. I have a different mother and I have bigger waist and I have bigger buttocks, you know. And now that's another thing. They used to no, as in the thing is they wanted to borrow my things, but they didn't want me to borrow theirs. Also, when it came to men, if a man took an interest in me, they will start like bad mouthing me to the man, or start making moves to that man. Or if they saw that this guy, maybe like we were in a club and a guy came to talk to me, um they would like do something to capture his attention and take him away. Another thing, if I had a boyfriend, they will do everything to be closer to him than they are closer to me, and start spilling things to the guy, and or start telling the guy like bad things about me, made up things about me, and then like the guy that maybe I am in a relationship with will start like not believing me when I tell him like stuff about myself, and he will start believing them because they're your friends, and if they're telling me this about you, you must be like that, because some guys will do that. And I'm like, damn, you believe them over me, and I'm the one that you're in a relationship with, then go to hell too. I don't need you in my life anymore. If you won't believe me as your girl as the first priority, then go believe those girls or date them if you want to, you know. And I came out of that friendship because they started making a move on this guy that I was interested in. And after they started making a move on that guy that I was interested in, like making moves, not like small moves, like big moves, and showing like they want him. And I was like, wait a minute, are you really my friends? Because if you're my friend, you wouldn't be doing this to me. If you're my friend, you won't be like going out of your way to make sure that I'm hurt so that you feel good about yourself. As friends, you're supposed to be uplifting each other, complimenting each other, making sure like this person doesn't have insecurities. And if you see like your friend is having insecurities with something in their body, you're supposed to be like, oh girl, you're perfect. That part of your body that you're insecure about, I will die to have that part of your body in my body. Or if like your friend is like, oh, I have big feet, I don't like it, you're supposed to be like, oh yeah, you might have big feet, but they don't look any different like my feet or anything. Like they complement your body perfectly, you see. Like make sure like your friend feels like they have a friend and not like they have an enemy as a friend. That's one thing. You have friends that are enemies and they are plotting against you. But right now, I'm in a friendship that I might say it's a good friendship. But after I came out of that friendship, it became harder for me to trust someone to be close to me as a friend. I have friends, but I don't have as tight of friends as I had those friends. Those were like my last, these tight friends. Because when I came out of that friendship, I had a heartbreak, like of a friendship. I had a friendship heartbreak because I used to love those girls down. I used to love them like my sisters. and to find out that they are plotting against you. They're taking your things without borrowing. Sometimes they don't even ask you when they're taking your things, they just take them. And when they ruin your things, they don't give a shit about it. Like, they don't care about your things as you care about theirs. When you take their things, you ask before you do it. And when they say no, you are okay with it. But when they ask for your things and you say no, they get salty about it, and maybe they talk shit about your things. Also, like, they could be rude about things in your life. Like, when you make a certain progress in your life, they will be like, it's not that big of a deal. And then they start like showing off like the thing that is going on in their life. They start showing off like, oh, this is going good in my life, and they want you to appreciate that after they shit on your things, on your progress and things. They don't appreciate your hobbies. They don't appreciate your preference in things, like your preference in music, your preference in other things. Also, like, they were the kind of friends that, like, when you're broke, you are not their friend. Like, friend as when you have money. When you have money, you're like this tight, but when you're broke, they kind of make sure you know that you are broke, you are really bad. They're the kind of friends that if you were in a bad place, like, you need to borrow money from them, and you know they have money, and like, when your friends, like, when your friend have money, and like, you're like, oh, can you help me with 100 bob, and like, I want to buy this, and I'm going to refund you at this time. They'll be like, no, I don't have money. And then the same person is going to junk when, like, they're telling you they don't have money, they're broke like you. Also, other things, they were small things, but they were toxic. Other things that they used to do were like, when you have money and they need money, and you tell them you don't have money, or you're not going to lend it to them because you have other responsibilities, they will be mad at you like for a whole week for that. I don't know if they realized they were toxic, I don't know if they realized that they impacted my life that way. Here is another thing about the toxic friendships. Some people don't realize that they're toxic until they, like, it's pointed out to them, because I didn't tell them, like, oh, the reason, like, cutting you off, it's because you're toxic. No, I just left, because I'm the kind of person that I won't confront you when I know, like, you are confrontational, and the conversation that we're going to have won't lead anywhere. I'm just going to be talking, and you're just going to be like defensive about it. So I better just leave and cut you off. And my son is waking up, so I'll end this story here. Tell me about your toxic friendships and how you noticed and how you cut them off. So I'll see you in my next video. Bye bye.